Artificial Intelligence Technology Solutions, AITX, does different robots, works with different companies for security and other business solutions. With me is the CEO, Steve Reinhardt. So, Steve, great to have you in the studio.
It's so good to see you in person. So fun.
I feel like I know you because we've talked on Zoom for a few times.
Yeah.
So let's just start with, like, you just had an investor open house. So that was at your facility in Detroit. Talk to me a little bit about that. What kind of announcements did you make to investors?
It was this past Wednesday, and we delivered so much information.
Okay.
We launched our RAD 3.0 lineup, which is beautiful, world-class designed products. Our designer, of course, you know, his claim to fame is doing the design language for Cisco. So our stuff looks amazing, and you can find it on our website. We launched a really innovative product called RAD Light My Way, which doesn't exist in the world yet, so that's a big deal for us.
Tell me about that. What is that?
Okay, so what it is imagine that you're here in New York, it's late at night, you've got to walk to your car in a parking lot or in a parking structure. And you feel a little bit of anxiety, you know, and it happens everywhere across the country. Well, there's no real way to help protect you or make you feel good about the walk until now. So now with us, you're going to open up your phone, you're going to open an app, you're going to push one button. It's called RAD Light My Way, and all the RAD devices that are in this area are going to light up, and they're going to see whoever's there, and they're going to yell at them or initiate contact depending on the facility and the time of day and situation, intelligently engage. And as a person, you're going to be able to say, okay, hey, you know what? People are watching me. They've kind of cleared the area. I've got maybe a physical security officer who might be coming up to check things out or help me out, or you might be in a third-party security operations center. But it's the only system out there where it puts the power of that security in your hands.
Interesting. Well, I come to work at 2:30 in the morning, so I can see me using it. It does depend on having other devices in the area.
You have
to
have our devices.
So that's the thing. Okay. And other ones, too, that all kind of talk to each other?
Just our devices right now.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be opening it up over the coming years.
Okay.
But right now, it's just ours.
Got it. And then I saw some press that some of your devices were outside convenience stores.
Yes.
Can you tell me what that's all? Is that a deal?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're all public view, so folks know that they're out there. You know, it's difficult for me to comment without permission on exactly how it's going, but I'll share with you that I'm pretty excited about it. And to my sight at this time, everything looks like it's going well.
Yeah.
We're certainly solving some problems. I have to be cautiously optimistic when I am asked questions like that.
Okay.
But let's get back to one thing real quick, because there was another announcement on October 13th that we did this past Wednesday at the Investors Open House. And that was bringing an application into the hands of AITX fans and investors and customers, where they can now virtually place devices wherever they might be, earn points, earn merch. And the idea behind it is kind of crowdsourcing sales and doing additional investor and fan engagement. Again, nobody else does this. Where it goes, I don't know, but we're trying it, so I'm excited about it.
Very interesting. So now you've talked about, so we've got the Rosa device.
Yeah.
And the Scott device.
Yeah.
I don't remember Scott. Is that new?
Oh, Scott was our first product.
Okay. You talk about Scott. I remember Rosa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rosa's just flying off the shelf.
Okay.
Yeah,
so update me on them. The sales, how they're going, where they're being used.
Yeah, I mean, we broke through the 150 or 160 device marker. Maybe it's 170 now, which is great. With all the devices.
With all of them, okay.
Rosa, we broke through the 100. We shipped our 100th device, so that shows how popular Rosa is. And I think that Rosa 3.0 is going to be even more popular because it's amazing. And we're on what we call our road to 500.
Okay.
Which I think is amazing for a company like ours, you know? Ultimately, at the end of the day, I really feel, and not just me, but our team, our investors, our fans, feel that there is an inevitability about what we do. There's an inevitability that what we do will be everywhere in time.
Interesting. It reminds me of Bill Gates saying a computer on every desk. So people have a robot everywhere.
So
how did you get there? I mean, how did you build the business? What did you focus on to get to this milestone?
Yeah, it's been a long road. It's been a long road. You know, I started coding when I was a young boy on old hardware. back in the day, and just studied business, entrepreneurship, had a few ventures, one really successful, a couple others less so, typical entrepreneur's journey. And this particular journey has been exciting because it has tested my persistence.
Okay.
And now we're kind of through the muck. We're on the way up, and we're getting real momentum. So now it's becoming fun.
Yeah. Okay.
But it was a lot of hard work to get here.
It sure is. So, and then there's also Romeo.
Yeah.
So there's Romeo 2.0.
Yeah.
What can you tell me about that?
Romeo 2.0 evolves everything that we did on Romeo 1.0. Obviously, it's 2.0, right? 1.0 was built after 300 designs that I went through. I burned through 4 industrial engineers to get to the shape that I liked.
Okay.
And now we're on 2.0.
Okay.
2.0 has advanced mobility, advanced ability to communicate, reliability, advanced range. It takes everything that we did in 1.0 and just amps it up and makes it the type of commercialized product that can be everywhere. Okay. Whereas 1.0 was a little bit more specialized. So I'm really, really happy with it.
Yeah. And then also you've just got a deal or a relationship with Ghost Robotics.
Yeah.
What does that entail?
So Ghost builds what I think are the absolute best QUGVs, right? Quadruped
Four-legged.
unmanned guided vehicles, right? Robot dogs.
Yes, yes. Which can be slightly terrifying.
Oh, I'm in the business. I'm terrified. I'm terrified. And I'm pushing the buttons on this stuff.
Yeah. So what do you use the quadrupeds for?
We have a few applications for it. The one application that is public and is easy to understand is what I call a robotic junkyard dog. So now you got some rad devices, you're covering a large area, and when we see something from one of our devices on some corner of the property, we're going to dispatch the dog for further engagement.
Okay.
So it amps up that level of facility protection that we can do, which is awesome. But beyond that, we have a bunch of applications that I can't talk about.
Okay.
But primarily right now, from a public consumption standpoint, we're creating these junkyard dogs.
Okay, next time. So just a final question, Steve. I mean, just how do you envision how we live? I mean, we're in Times Square. Do you see like 20 years of robots milling around Times Square, monitoring different things going on? I mean, how will we live with these robots?
We have already started moving into the future that I see, and I'm going to share with you what that means. Your phone is probably in your pocket. It's probably no more than 2 or 3 feet from you at any time of the day, whether you're in the shower or you're sleeping.
It's true.
So you're already connected to the rest of the world. And you're connected to your thermostat and your cameras at home and your car probably. So take that concepts that we're already practicing right now and then extend it to facility protection, protection of your home, protection of your business, where you have what I call these nodes, these intelligent nodes that you've said, hey, look for this, look for that. If you see something, interact with them. And bring the information back to you or bring it back to a third party that you've engaged with to monitor and manage these devices. So that's the basis of what I see. But the future that I see, and I see it as inevitable, and I see it as on the road today, is where we are much more connected to a series of machines that are AI powered. And as scary as that sounds, we're doing that right now with the examples that I gave you at the beginning of my response.
Yeah.
So do I think that it's frightening? Yes, because it's change and it's different. And change and different are inevitably frightening. But it's inevitable.
Yeah.
There's guys like me working on this. It's going to happen. And I'm happy to be in a position where I can help.
Okay, thank you so much, Steve. Always very interesting.
A pleasure, Jane. Thank you.
Beatify is a decentralized music streaming service, and they say they can help artists actually get the revenue that they deserve. So with me is Gary Whittaker, the U.S. president of Beatify, and then also Dennis C., who is an artist on the site. So great to have you both here. So, Gary, let's start with you. Just tell me a little bit about Beatify. I know I've talked to you guys in the past, but give me an overview of the company and what you're trying to do.
Of course. Thank you, Jane, for having us here. We're excited to share the amazing things that our company is doing for artists everywhere. Beatify is the world's first fair trade music streaming company. We have combined blockchain technology with our own cryptocurrency called Song Token. By doing this, it gives us the ability to pay artists more, and it's a lot more. It's beyond 5 times what any of the other major streaming services offer. And we take great pride in that. This is revolutionary. This is the movement that artists have been waiting for. And when artists come onto our platform, they know that they're supported by a company that wants their success. And we just take great pride in all of that.
Yeah. Well, I know Spotify is not paying the artists. I mean, I've had some friends who've had some decent downloads, and they're still not making hardly any money. So, Dennis, let's talk to you. You mentioned the word revolutionary. I mean, you are on the site. Do you feel like, as an artist, like this could be something revolutionary for other artists?
As an artist, well, thanks for having us, Jane.
Yeah, of course.
But as an artist, revolutionary or any revolution usually comes about when the underserved majority needs change. And it's change from legacy systems that have not been taking care of, of artists. And that's always been a problem through the years. Here comes blockchain, here comes Beatify that addresses the trinity, from my perspective, fans, artists, investors.
Okay.
And I think there's no better time for it to come about.
Okay, and he mentioned the timing. I mean, why is this the right time for something like this?
Sure. Look, it goes without saying, COVID has been extremely rough for everyone. At my other job, I work as an anesthesiologist in my local hospital back home. And sometimes after a very long day, my good buddy, Dr. Yuskovich, he'll come up to me and give me a really strong pat on the back. And he'll say to me, "Hey, altcoin," that's the nickname that he gave me. He'll say, "Keep your chin up. This isn't about you. This is about serving your community and improving the lives of people that need your help." That is what Beatify is doing. We're getting artists back on their feet. We're giving them an avenue to have good income. COVID shut down their ability to make that good income and build their fan base because they needed live gigs.
Yeah.
Well, Beatify.audio, it is the answer on how to get artists opened back up for business.
So explain how it works and how are you able to do that? Because we all love good art in our lives. I mean, it makes life, enriching. So how are you able to pay them enough to make it worth their time?
Sure. We approach it very simply. Artists come and on board with us. They get paid at an amazing level in our Song Token. We pay at a penny and a half per stream. The big leading companies like Spotify, with revenues of $9.2 billion last year, they pay their artists at a third of a penny per stream. So when we pay our artists in Song Token and our company gets more people coming with us and streaming music with us, our company will grow, and so will that value of our Song Token grow. And as it grows, the earning potential grows as well.
So the blockchain allows them to get a token where they can participate in the profits. So Dennis, I mean, are there other artists on the site? Any big names? I mean, what can you tell me about that?
Well, as far as we're concerned, every artist on a Beatify platform is a big name.
Okay.
I mean, we're grateful that they have embraced what Beatify has to offer, and you'll never know. You might find your favorite artist, the next big name on Beatify.
Right, a story of redemption. So, which kind of fits with the name of the company.
Yes.
I mean, you want to explain how the Beatify? So, explain to me how you came up with that name and why some people get it confused, and just clarify all that.
Sure. Yeah, we want to be more than just a company that streams music. We want artists to come to us and share their music with the world. We want the world to have this common ground that everyone can agree on. You know, there's so much polarization, so much division with everything, and music is really the one thing that everyone can agree on. So Beatify is part of the Beatitudes, and we want people to have a place that they can call like their home, and a place that everyone unites with a common purpose.
Yeah, okay. Well, best of luck. A very interesting application of blockchain technology. I hope it works out, because you do want to see the artist get paid well for what they're doing. So
yes,
thank
absolutely.
you so much, Gary and Dennis, for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you, Jim.
Rego Payment bills itself as a neo-bank. It's in the fintech space, and the flagship product is Missoula, which is really geared toward children and teaching them about money, something I am personally passionate about. So with me, CEO Dan Aptor, and also Rick Lane, tech policy expert, child safety advocate, strategic advisor to Rego as well. So welcome, Rick. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you again, Dan.
Well, thank you for having me.
So, Dan, let's just start with, I gave a short little introduction, but can you go into some more detail about what Rego is doing?
Sure. So really quickly, Jane, Rego's a neobank, privacy-first platform. Our platform is focused on family mobile commerce solutions, so both in-store and online purchases. Just give you a little bit of context. The U.S. alone mobile wallet virtual debit card space is about an $800 billion total addressable market. And we're really focused on the 70 million plus underserved Gen Z kids and teens. So, and what I tell you is what makes us special is we have 3 patents in the areas of privacy, PCI attribution, and identity management. And we are the only certified COPPA and GDPR mobile wallet. So for those viewers that aren't really familiar with COPPA, it's abbreviation for Child Online Privacy Protection Act. It's very important because it's really what we're hearing today on Wall Street around protection of children and children's identity. So we like to say we offer all the features of a mobile wallet a kid wants, but we don't compromise on the safety and security a parent deserves.
Yeah. Well, and Dan, the last time we talked, I have a 12 and 14-year-old, so right in the middle of the Gen Z, and they downloaded the wallet. And so we were kind of starting to play around with it a little bit. And you mentioned the privacy thing. It's very important to parents. And Rick, I understand you are discussing that. You're in Washington. Update us on where all that stands right now.
Absolutely. With all the animosity happening in DC right now between Democrats and Republicans and Democrats and House and Senate, there is one unifying issue that both sides in a bipartisan, bicameral way agree on, which is the protection of children online and in this new digital space. So you're seeing legislation introduced in the House and Senate that's bipartisan. And it's really interesting because even if you watch the Facebook hearings the past week, as Senator Blumenthal said in an interview after, you close your eyes and you couldn't tell the difference between the Democrats and the Republicans. So this is a unifying issue that has a lot of focus, a lot of momentum, and Missoula is in a perfect position to really help kids protect their privacy and parents protect their privacy as we're going into a world that is more of a digital wallet online economy for kids.
Yeah. So Rick, can you go into specifics about that? Like, as a parent, what specifically will my kids be protected? How does all that work?
Sure. So as Dan mentioned, there's the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. When that was written by now Senator Markey, he was the House member when it was introduced back in 1998 and enacted in 99. The issue was how to protect kids in this new online world where kids' information is going to be collected. The legislation basically says that sites that are targeting 12 and under have to have an opt-in privacy regime, that parents actually have to give consent to allow these companies to collect their information. And that's what they're looking to change, and increasing the age up to 17 and under. And that's one of the pieces of legislation moving forward. But there was also legislation that was introduced around the same time called part of the Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, which was the financial services privacy protections for consumers. Now, back in 1999, when these bills were being discussed, kids didn't have credit cards or debit cards. And so the way Gramm-Leach-Bliley works, it's opt out. So when a parent signs up their child for a debit card or credit card, unless they specifically opted out on how that information can be collected and used, the financial institutions can use it however they want. And so what Missoula has done with their apps, or Rego has done with their apps and their Kids Pay button, is say, we should have an opt-in regime for parents when their kids' information is being collected for financial transactions. Because most parents don't think about it. I mean, how many of us have ever opted out when we got those privacy notices? I know I haven't, and I'm supposed to be a privacy expert. And when I signed my kids up, I didn't even think about it.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dan.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Jane. Thanks, Rick.
Need hearing aids? Tired of paying $5,000 or more? Tired of making multiple trips to have your hearing aids adjusted? Now you don't have to. Our Hear IQ 4 medical grade hearing aids are fully rechargeable, Bluetooth compatible, and start at under $1,000 for a complete set or monthly payments of $44. Our hearing aids are self-adjusting using any smartphone and features remote programming by hearing care professionals without you ever leaving home. Order your pair today at myheariq.com.
SFIO is an asset management company involved in a variety of industries, everything from technology to food to property development. And with me is CEO Jeths Lacson from New Zealand. So Jeths, great to see you again.
Great to see you, Jane. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. And I know that you're considering a name change to the company. So explain what's behind that decision.
Yes, we are. And we've been asked actually to provide some more documents relating to our requests, which we have already provided. And we are very much hoping that FINRA will process our requests very soon. And in terms of the renamings, we are renaming Smokefree Innotec to Starfleet Innotec. Starfleet because it represents the alliance of the businesses in the conglomerate, which increases the portfolio of SFIO that then brings value to its partners and investors. And just in relation to that, in terms of the shell status, the company will be submitting the Q3 financials and also the filings by the end of this month, which will essentially remove the shell. Overall, I can say that though there has been some changes in the schedule, everything is back on track and we're certainly making good progress.
By the way, I like Starfleet. I think that's like kind of a cool future looking name. So now we had talked last time about some road shows you were doing. I know you were planning on coming to the US. Where does all that stand?
Well, our team will be arriving in LA this week. The educational road shows will run from the 15th October to the end of the month in LA, Phoenix, Chicago, Miami, and New York City. And our team will be working in our new office in New York City, where they will meet our existing and potential investors, including potential business partners in Epiphany Cafe. We will be conducting educational workshops, presentations, and conferences, and we'll invite investors and partners to meet with us. And all of these will be posted or uploaded in our new website, www.sfio.co.nz or www.starfleetinnotec.com. The new website is very informative, actually, and which will assist investors and partners to know more about the company's story, strategic roadmap, and updates. And just today, we have recently appointed the first batch of our advisory board. We have appointed a new CFO, that is Michael Venezuela. He's a CPA in Australia and CEO of MLV accounting firm. Mr. Roger Oriel, on the other hand, he is CEO of Asian Journal Publication in the US. He will be assisting our IR and PR teams that are based in the US to work on gaining exposure for SFIO. And Mr. Jonathan Petalver, CEO of the Global Academy New Zealand. He is leading our educational roadshows and representing SFIO until we arrive there in the US in Q1 next year to continue the US roadshows.
Mm-hmm. And then since we talked, you've made a lot of acquisitions as well. So there's the MLV Group, Big Lou's Donuts, BLD's nationwide contracts. So talk about those acquisitions. How do they fit into your vision of the company?
Thanks, Jane. Yes, certainly we did. So MLV Group, we acquired MLV Group, an accounting firm based in Australia with more than 5,000 clients that provides one-stop shop for all tax, accounting, financial, and social needs. MLV Group will also provide accounting and financial services to the SFIO conglomerate while pursuing its accounting firm expansion in Australia. While the Global Academy New Zealand, we established TGA, and it's headed by Mr. Jonathan Petalver. It is a strategic learning provider of master classes and workshops that aims to educate, equip, and empower SFIO's business partners, shareholders, and potential investors to have entrepreneurial and business leadership mindsets. And the Global Academy also will administer the training and business mentorship or coaching across the businesses in the SFIO conglomerate. And as we transition to the asset management model, our goal is to build leaders who will eventually lead builders of the businesses. And our most important assets here, as we recognize, are its people. I cannot run all the companies in the conglomerate by myself, but I can surely work with leaders who are running these businesses, which in essence necessary to maintain alignment throughout the conglomerate. And with regards to Big Lou's acquisition, Big Lou's Donuts is based in Australia and was established in 2008. Since then, they've been producing commercial donuts, which they supply to their wholesale customers like supermarkets across Australia. SFIO strategically acquired Big Lou's Donuts to basically enable and expedite the expansion of Epiphany Cafe in Australia, and by utilizing its factory, which at the moment produces about more than 9,000 donuts per hour. Imagine that. And Big Lou's Donuts is positioned in the commercial tier, while Epiphany Donuts is in the upper tier of the market. With this, we are increasing our market share of donuts in Australia. And in terms of the contracts that you've asked,
well, you're in all the hot tech areas, that's for sure. So very fast growing. Well, just thank you again for coming, and best of luck as you look to expansion here in the U.S. and hopefully we can meet in person soon.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
FANDOM Sports Media is an entertainment company that has developed proprietary gaming and also microservices platform. And with me is the CEO, David Vinokurov, to talk about a pretty big partnership that you just recently announced, marketing and technology with Polygon. So can you explain that? What's that all about?
Sure. Yeah. So, we have a variety of microservices that we're offering for esports and sports. The large portion of that will be for fan engagement. So people can play, predict, get rewarded as they're watching any type of streamed content, esports or sports, or frankly, anything. Through that process, as people are watching their favorite stream, we've built a platform that allows them to collect digital memories or NFTs, non-fungible tokens. We've discussed that in the past. The challenge that we have in the NFT space today is that most NFTs are minted on Ethereum, which is a protocol that, is one of the blockchain protocols that exist out there. The problem with Ethereum is that it's very expensive to mint an individual NFT, and it takes a lot of time. So when we minted our first NFT 3-4 months ago, it took about 2 or 3 weeks and cost about $200. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to open up this collectible marketplace to everybody around the world, so people can mint hundreds of thousands, millions of NFTs. So by partnering with Polygon, their protocol allows us to mint for fractions of a penny an individual NFT, and allows us to mint them near instantly. So the technology that they've built, it just is going to change the game. So we're very proud to have them as one of our core partners when we launch our NFT marketplace in the fall. And, we're going to be doing some very cool things with them technology-wise and marketing-wise as well moving forward.
Interesting. So I didn't realize that Polygon could also help you mint an NFT. And I guess it's the gas fees, right? With Ethereum that makes it also expensive? Yeah,
exactly. So like I said, when a lot of NFTs people are seeing in the media, that they're selling for millions of dollars. And there was one that Beeple, was a famous artist, sold for $70 million. It's not a big deal if you pay $200. But if you want to really create them at scale across a large audience, and it takes 2 or 3 weeks, and, how many moments can you think of in a 4-quarter football game? Right? There's things happening every second. So if you want to capture those moments quickly, create trading, create some velocity with the trading and the collectability of it. If you got to wait 3 weeks and pay $200, you'd think twice before you actually engage with the audience. Right. So by partnering with Polygon and having Polygon as the underlying technology of our marketplace, people will be able to record NFTs on the fly. You sell them, trade them, whatever, through our NFT marketplace, and just speed up the evolution of the entire ecosystem.
No, very interesting. So can anybody in the public use this mint NFT with the Polygon? How will you and how can they use the technology?
Yeah, so Polygon, they've been around for a lot longer than us. They're actually one of the top 20 crypto protocols that exist there. The market cap of their Matic coin, it's in the billions of dollars. They've performed already, I think, almost 400 million individual transactions. They have 1.7 million different wallets out there. These are people that are using their coins in the ecosystem. So, we're very proud to partner with them. Their technology underlies a lot of the more readily visible companies that are in the sector. So we're proud to use their technology. If you have to use something, use the best, right? So we're proud to use them. And, the way that we're going to use them is very unique in the context of the sports and esports market. So they're going to play a large part in marketing our service to some of the companies that reach out to them that want to mint NFTs, because what we're proposing to do, it allow you to do it faster, make additional funds. And at the end of the day, what we're looking to do is really license our capabilities to all of our esports and sports partners, help everybody make some money and, drive some value for our shareholders.
Okay. And then, of course, there's the whole marketing part of it, too, like making sure people know it exists. How do you plan to do that?
Yeah. So, when we go out and we say, look, we want to do all these wonderful, cool things and mint NFTs on the fly and create instant fan engagement and so forth, the question becomes, well, look, all due respect to David and the team at FANDOM, but, what you're saying is a big undertaking. Now, partnering with a company such as Polygon, or an organization, such as Polygon, it gives us a lot of credibility to say, look, we're one of the industry leading protocols that actually can back up, working with them, we can do what we're saying we're doing. So that gives us instant credibility right away.
Well, it sounds like we may have to do a few more interviews here in the near term to update us on everything you're doing. So thank you so much, David.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your time as well.
Secure is a secure email system, and it comes to us from Globex Data, and the CEO, Alon Gahi, is here to give us an update on Secure. And Alon, you have had quite a year so far. Bring us up to date on where Secure is in the company as well.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you for watching us. Basically, Globex Data, which is our public company traded under ticker Swiss F, is a creator of an application called Secure, spelled SEKUR. We have an email and a messenger application. We also have an application called Secure Suite, which is for larger businesses. It's a document management, file share, password manager as well. We're actually doing a lot of upgrade on that one by Q1 of next year, because we identified that now people are looking at securing and backing up the data in the cloud in companies that are not necessarily, the Google and the Microsofts of the world, because those are obviously, data mined all the time. So right now what we're doing is we launched around mid-July in the US with great success. We had an amazing quarter, very happy. We really feel strongly that we can deliver double-digit growth every quarter over quarter for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So that's big. And the email application is actually interesting because we have certain feature. First of all, we host everything in Switzerland, which has the highest data privacy laws in the world. We have also our own platform, so we don't host on big tech like Amazon Web Service, Google, Microsoft, and all that. And we also don't use open source coding. So the service is extremely secure and very private because we don't data mine you. So Secure Messenger is doing well. We're improving some of the stuff because you can message someone that doesn't have Secure right now if you email someone, but we're going to add chat by invite with text. So that's going to be great. You can text anyone and say, hey, click here and you can chat with me. They don't need to buy the app. And the Secure email is going through a revamp where we're going to launch our email application in Q1. And that'll be a game changer because our application, our service, if you use webmail, you can use a service called Secure Send, which lets you send an email to anybody in the world without anybody on the internet being able to phish and hack it. But unfortunately, people don't know how to configure their email all the time. They don't want to use webmail. So this email application is going to take us from 0 to a million, really, because it's going to make it so easy. It's like downloading Gmail, but now you're going to download Secure Mail.
Okay. So I'm sure people that are listening to this are like, that sounds really good, especially with all the hacks we've heard. What's the process for somebody to get on the secure email?
So all they have to do is go to secure.com. That's SEKUR.com. Go to pricing, and you have two choices today. You have the messenger or the secure, which gives you the messenger as well. Interestingly enough, we are launching email only, probably in November, and the application for it on your phone, probably in January, February. So you'll have Secure Mail. So go to Secure, buy it for $10 a month or $100 a year. We give a free trial. Once you register and everything, then you can download on iOS or Android. You go to Secure Communications and you can download the application. And that's it. And we have a ton of video tutorial on our website. If you go to support, a video tutorial, super easy to do.
Okay. So, and you talked a little bit about the first quarter and some of the plans. Can you talk about 2022 and what kind of plans you have for next year?
Absolutely. So 2021 was already exciting enough because we raised, I would say in US dollar, close to $7 million, which was pretty amazing for us. We have no debt. We launched Secure successfully in the US. We have our advertising campaign. As you know, you're at NASDAQ. We have a huge 96-foot wide billboard on the NASDAQ building. We have 200 electronic panels in all of New York City subway, the big station. So we're doing this advertising all over, and we're getting a ton of subscribers. So the proof of concept is done. We're improving on Secure Messenger. What's very exciting in Q1, we're launching our Secure Mail application, which will make it completely ubiquitous, very easy to use. our email, and you'll be able to have all the webmail feature that today you can only have on webmail, like secure send and things like that. So we plan to push heavily to the business sector, of course. We'll have a business email coming up soon. And we also plan to expand our reach in the US. We have Latin America that is firing up as well, because we have our contract with America Mobile, and we have a South Asian telecom as well. So 2022 will be as good or better than 2021. I have to say we're very lucky. Our performance, our stock has performed very well. I think it's done close to 300% year to date. In fact, today the market is terrible and we're up 5%. And I think it's because people are discovering, hey, cybersecurity is something that is not going away. And they're looking for companies that are unique in this sense. You know, we're not a $1 billion company, but our product is quite unique and very helpful for people. We've protected over 2,000 people so far and growing every day. Every day we have new subscribers coming on.
Interesting. And that's on the OTC. Tell us how we can follow your shares or buy stock if we would like.
Sure. So if you want to buy it in the US, you go to any place basically and you type the ticker SWISF. We're a foreign issuer because we're still Canadian issuer. In Canada, it's Swiss, SWIS. I should mention that we are discussing plans to eventually uplist to NASDAQ in the next 24 months or less. Probably next year, Q1, we're going to have serious discussion. We identified about half a dozen investment banks that are interested to do so. So you type in on Yahoo Finance, on whatever you use, SWISF, SWISF.
Thank you so much. I look forward to getting an update soon.
Thank you, Jane, and thanks everyone for watching us.
And welcome back to New to the Street. I'm Anna Berry, and this is your weekly hack with Elaine Guillai, the secure segment. Elaine is with Globex Data, the leader in Swiss hosted private and secure communications and data management. Welcome back, Elaine.
Thank you, Anna. Happy to be here. Welcome to our viewer.
We are talking about something pretty important. It's the fact that third parties are no longer securing people's data. And we're specifically talking about this new leak with Twitch, which is a pretty popular site, and it has a lot of young and vulnerable subscribers to that. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so what happened is Twitch, which is a very big platform for gamers, they got hacked, right? And in the hack, now they're investigating what has been stolen, and they're discovering that their PayPal information, which does include bank info, credit card, because when you have PayPal, eventually you want to get that money and you pay with PayPal, and it's directly linked to a bank account typically, or a credit card. So financial information, email, name, everything else. And the big thing is that nothing was hashed. So hashing is essentially kind of like putting a black marker in a database, so to speak. So you have all these lines of codes in database, and hashing it is masking it. It's like, you know, putting a bunch of hash so deep that it becomes like a gray mass, or you may have seen that in some password managers. So that wasn't even the case. So there was zero security whatsoever. And this is the problem with second and third party platforms that are not so concerned about your security, but they really want your data, and then they just want the users, you know, to pay for the services. And security and privacy is definitely at the bottom of the echelon in terms of priorities. So,
right.
So that's a huge problem. There's millions of people, and young people are vulnerable too. You know, they think they don't have anything of value, but they do have their data and their financial information.
And you were talking about how secure email is a service you offer, and it's something that I've implemented myself. It's you have two emails, one email for more of the day-to-day fun stuff, and another email for the stuff you want to keep secure, private, and safe.
That's it. So I also use that. So for business, Obviously, we use our secure email. In fact, every business should have an email like us. As a matter of fact, I think I mentioned end of October, November, we're launching our business domain email. We have a queue of people willing to already migrate to us. But as an individual, you should have always 2 or 3 emails. So ideally, if you do banking, medical, you may have a mortgage broker you're exchanging information with, your accountant when you want to send your bank info for your tax return. We don't think about these things. It's just everyday stuff. Use an email like ours, which has a secure send feature, which basically eliminates the need for the email flying all over the internet. It always stays in our secure servers. And then have your big tech platform, whether it's Yahoo, Gmail, Microsoft, anything you want. And when you subscribe to a magazine or you do your e-gaming things, that's what you use. Now, I noticed that a lot of credit cards lately, last year was Capital One. They had this hack, they get hacks all the time, and they tell you to double check your email and to change your email. So it's important. I would say you should have 3. You have like the top priority, which would be your secure email. As one of our customers actually put it a couple of days ago, he said, I'm going to use it very sparingly, meaning they're not going to subscribe to everything out there so that email is sold again. They're going to use it for really private stuff. And then you have your mid-level and then your other thing. You want to go to Twitch, then come up with a Gmail that you can change every 90 days, as a matter of fact.
Oh, every 90 days. Well,
you can change anytime because it's free, right?
Right. That's true. That's true. You said that the Trojan horse is here and it's in the form of hackers. Why do you liken hackers to the Trojan horse and give that analogy?
Well, the Trojan horse, which comes from Greek history and mythology, essentially it's people disguising as friendlies coming in.
Right.
The Trojan horse was in Troy, and then they brought this horse, and it was supposed to be a gift. And then inside the horse, there were all these soldiers that attacked the town and the castle. Right. This is the same thing. Hackers coming in, let's say as gamers, checking the open source coding, manipulating, trying to see how to get in and infiltrate. It's like a virus, essentially. It's like a virus that has an invisible method. They come in, and then once they're in an ecosystem like Twitch, for example, they go and wreak havoc and hack and steal everybody's data. The Trojan horse is an analogy because it's something that we don't really think, it's not dangerous. I have nothing to hide. I have nothing of value. But then at the end, if it happens to you and your credit cards are stolen, your bank info is being emptied and your PayPal account is empty, you will start to worry about that. So I took the analogy of the Trojan horse because it's innocent, it's inoffensive, but then it attacks by surprise without your knowledge ahead of time.
Yeah, it's a great deceptive illusion. And again, you've taught this to me, and I think our viewers understand now. You don't have to be a big corporation. You can be an everyday person, not someone of interest. You can be an everyday young kid, right? Just playing some video games. Everyone is vulnerable. Everyone is at risk here. And that is where Secure is coming in with your messenger and your email and a lot more services in the near future as well.
Definitely. Because you mentioned young people. Mm-hmm. I have examples of people, shareholders who told me their nephew, their kids got hacked and their identity stolen, their credit card stolen. It's not about age or how wealthy you are, or if you're a business person. Machines don't discriminate. You hear about how the virus doesn't discriminate. If you're a millionaire or not, it's just going to attack everyone. Well, machines are the same way. Hackers don't discriminate. You're just a number and data that they can come and exploit. So yeah, that's a good point.
Well, all of this is such valuable information because our privacy is such a valuable asset that we have, and we have to keep secure. So again, thank you so much for joining us on New to the Street for the Secure segment. Always looking forward to speaking with you and look forward to next week for our weekly hack. Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you, Anna, and thanks for everyone for watching.
Petproducts.com. Thousands of products. An Al Simon Wee Wee Pad Inventor Company. PetVivo is an emerging biomedical device company focused on the licensing and commercialization of innovative medical devices for pets. And with me is CEO John Lai. John, welcome.
Thank
Great
you.
to
It's a
meet
real
you.
pleasure to be here.
I
Finally
know.
in person.
We've
Yeah.
talked on Zoom so many times. And you just had a major milestone uplisting PetVivo to the NASDAQ. You've also got a new CFO, NASDAQ season. Talk to me about all these things that PetVivo has been doing lately.
Yeah, it's been a exciting 30, 40 days here. You know, we've gotten the uplift, we got tremendous more visibility, and our website has picked up tremendously in terms of viewerships. We have a very seasoned CFO. He was with another medical device company where it grew from 10 million market cap to 1.6 billion, beat 11 straight consecutive earnings estimates by Wall Street. So that's always a good sign to get somebody as seasoned as that.
Yeah, for sure. And you've been working in osteoarthritis for a number of years with canine, horses as well. What exactly is that? Explain that, and how's your treatment different?
Sure. So osteoarthritis is the wearing away of the cartilage. It degrades over time. It doesn't get any better. And what happens is when it starts to wear away, you get bone-on-bone contact. With that bone-on-bone contact, you get inflammation and pain. And it's a very large problem for dogs and horses. Our treatment is quite different in the approach. We identify that the bone-on-bone contact is the major cause, so we inject our particles in, which is naturally derived, and it's basically collagen, elastin, heparin, building blocks or structure of cartilage and tissue. So once it's injected into the joint, it acts and provides cushion between the bones. And given that the particles are wet and lubricious, it actually lubricates and keeps the joint cool, what natural cartilage would be doing. Yeah, so all the competitors are just focusing on symptoms, masking symptoms. How do I create a better NSAID? Because that's the gold standard treatment. You give a pill once or twice a day, and the dog doesn't feel any pain. And I would argue it actually leads to further damaging of the cartilage, because a dog, if they feel pain, they won't jump. In certain situations, they'll jump when they don't feel the pain.
And the bones are still rubbing together.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
Absolutely.
you're actually fixing. Now, is that the spring treatment that I see on your website?
Yes.
So that's it. Okay.
Yes.
So, and that's basically what makes you different than other treatments.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. We call it spring with osteocushion technology. The osteocushion are the particles, and those particles have many applications for both humans and animals.
Now, how big of a problem is this for animals?
Well, in the United States, the market size is about 4.8 billion actually, and growing at 7% a year. So in terms of dogs, you're probably looking at 14, 15 million dogs a year that will have it. For horses, it's probably close to 1 million horses. So the population for dogs in the United States is about 65 million. And horses about 7.2 million.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like people are getting more animals.
Yes.
Adopted, especially during the pandemic, but even before that, like the pet industry was growing so much, so that you would kind of grow along with that, I would think.
Yeah, so, the demographic drivers in the marketplace are that less and less people are getting married, less and less people are having children, so their pets become their children, and it's called the humanization of the family pet.
The pet parent.
So they become part of the family, and people will spend whatever it takes to improve the quality of life of their pet, just like with their children. Sure. And you see that in the increase of per spending. So in 2012, when a pet owner decided the dollar amount they would end treatment would be about $1,700 in 2012. Today's $10,700 is the dollar threshold before they tell the vet, I don't want to provide any more treatment.
Wow, that's interesting. Now, I don't happen to have a pet.
Okay.
I would love one, but that's another story. But so what if I did and it was aging? Like, what would be the first steps I would take with your company?
Sure. Basically, the first point of diagnosis, the consumer will see the mobility of the animal diminish, the dog. And then they take it into the vet, and the vet generally will do a mobility test or do x-rays. And then they'll be able to identify, hey, the dog has osteoarthritis. The cartilage is wearing away. And you would ask the vet, what are my treatment options? And they generally would say, let's start an NSAID. But, we're providing something probably costing about the same over an annual basis, something that doesn't have the negative side effects, but actually ends up providing pretty much instantaneous mobility increase and quality of life increase for the animal.
And would you ever have the opportunity to take this beyond dogs and horses?
Yes, so we were initially funded by NIH and DOD. So a lot of the work was done on the human side, and that's how we got into the animal side. Is when I joined the company, I said, we have a unique opportunity here that the FDA has declared our product as a device on the animal side. So we can go right in, on the human side, excuse me. So we can go right into the animal side without pre-clearance by the FDA. So we were able to commercially go right into the marketplace.
Yeah. Just real quick, does pet insurance cover this?
Yeah, it has been because we're declared as a veterinary device.
Okay.
And most insurance will cover devices.
Okay, interesting. Yeah. So now you've had multiple press releases lately about some personnel, new distribution partner on the East Coast. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. So, after we got on NASDAQ with the capital raise, we're utilizing that capital to bring all the pieces together to really help the company grow at a very fast rate. We brought in a national sales manager national sales by the name of Mark Middleton. He's got over 30 years of experience. In his last company, he took to $800 million in sales in the veterinary space. And then we brought in Russ Sickle, who was in marketing pretty high up at Pfizer Animal Health.
Okay.
So he's got over 30 years experience in marketing in veterinary devices. So we brought him in, and then to shore up the manufacturing, we brought in Josh Wilhelm. He's got years of experience with medical device manufacturing and high volume.
Okay, well, thank you so much for coming in, and great to hear about Pet Vivo and all your success. Congratulations.
Thank you, Jane. It's a real pleasure.
Okay, and thank you as well.